Hello. It is Thursday night, and it is also a very, very special time of the year because it's Keith's birthday. Happy birthday, Keith. If you stay tuned, you're going to get a birthday song. But first, I got to greet everybody. Evie, 23, first in the room. Also, notably, the Goofy-on, the goofiest evolution. Some sources have said. And hello, Skull Sphinx. And hello, Brad Pritchard. Skull Sphinx, I gotta say something. It's been a couple weeks. I didn't stream last week. But since we last streamed, I watched the rest of the Fallout series. And now I haven't seen The Last of Us. But I will say the Fallout, I will agree with you that at least insofar as what shows that I've seen based on video games, or movies even as well, it's really good. It is. I think it is the best on-screen adaptation of video game I've ever seen. Was it a terrible time to be alive, Brad? It was just too much. It was too much. The puppy is like the puppy's a lot, man. It's gonna get easier, but like especially the way we've been doing puppying, it's just a lot. It's a lot of like bad sleep nights and she's a lot of fun, but she's also like, she started teething in the last week, extra hard. She's like going into full-on Velociraptor mode. Yeah, it's not stopping you from doing your shit and every streaming. How's that going, Brad? Yeah, I've popped onto a few of your videos and I've heard you referencing the dog. I know you, the last time I was privy to direct communications about your dog, you had not yet gotten it and you weren't going to. So how's that going for you? Yeah, I think I was watching one of your recent videos and I can't remember the name of that game that came out. Brad, you're one of the main reasons I'm playing this game right now. It's because I've been like snooze watching. Brad's been doing VODs of a JRPG that just launched a couple days ago. It's primarily Florence's responsibility, and learning your shit outside is going nowhere. Yeah, our dog does not like going to the bathroom outside. We have pads inside that it's gotten really good at knowing where it is and is not okay to take a crap inside. So we're very thankful for that. There are no like carpet aside from the first maybe week, and even then only like maybe 2 or 3 accidents before she got her shit together. But she knows the pads and she does it on the pads. But then, she also likes, when she's in a wrong mood, she likes chewing on the pads. She likes tearing the pads up. It doesn't work for her if you take her out of the enclosure. We have an enclosure that we open up when we're both, like when we're hanging out in the living room, we open it up. Because what we basically have is about a quarter of the living room, and it's cut off from like access to the kitchen, which is also adjoining the living room. There's about a quarter of the living room that's set up for her area. We just had a larger crate for her too. So one of us keeps a crate in whatever office we're babysitting her in, and then we have the larger main crate in the living room. And that's where all the pads are and her food and everything else. But we open that up when we're in the living room. And so she has sort of free reign of that. But at this point, like, we still don't leave her unattended in the open living room space. If we have to leave her unattended, it's got to be in her enclosure area. We haven't crate trained her either yet. It's like one of those things we mean to and we plan to, but we haven't. Because there are definitely times when you should be able to just put them in a crate. You don't want to make that like a place where they live, but you need to be able to leave them unattended. And essentially, the basic way that we've done this for the last 5 weeks or 6 weeks, however long it's been now, is she is never unattended, 24/7. One of us is always in the room with her. So, chewing on the pads, a natural stink. Okay, yeah, our Millie has a very strong dog smell. And hello, Alali! But oxygen hasn't been a problem. We keep like windows going and sort of like fans circulating air. She only smells like dog when you get close up to her. And we haven't gotten the whole like bath situation sorted out yet with her either. Although dogs, she's got like a double coat, so dogs are her type. You need to brush them and make sure they're not tangled. But you're not supposed to bathe them too much, so we may just leave that for a groomer, like a monthly or bi-monthly trip to the groomers, and just make sure that we've got the mats out of her hair and stuff. And she started stinking again within 5 hours after being bathed. Yeah, maybe Brad needs more oxygen, Annalie. I don't know. Oh, the enclosure is in your bedroom. Oh no. Well, I mean, the thing is her enclosure, we basically camp next to it in the living room. One of us, we take turns. Each night, one of us basically camps out near her because she can get out of the enclosure. She can jump the fence. It's just that as long as she's not overly upset, she won't do it. If she's actually like panicking, she'll jump the fence. And that's the thing. It's like she generally, unless she's really like overwhelmed with like super zoominess or super excited or super scared or super whatever, she generally, I can tell, wants to know what makes us happy, what we want her to do, and what we don't want her to do. And when she figures those things out, she seems like she wants to do those things. But if she gets super, she gets cranky when she's too tired, she gets too excited, she gets scared, and all that's out the window. And one of the things right now is like if we leave her alone, she realizes like, oh, we didn't just leave the room for a minute. As soon as she realizes that we've left the room, she starts whining. And then, eventually she's gonna have to get over that. But so far our solution has just been someone's always got to be accessible to her. Do the dog Nana has regained access to the bedroom because we literally can't close the door because you die in your sleep. Yeah, we keep, now she doesn't have access to us while we're sleeping because I'm afraid she'd end up biting our face off. Like the biting is the problem. She's very sweet, but she also likes to chew, and she probably wouldn't try and kill us in our sleep or anything. But I've had some bleeding face wounds and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's good times. Smart. She is very smart. And to, like, her breed, too, I mean, it's Australian Shepherd and Border Collie, especially those Shepherd breeds, they're really smart. And they're also very, like, their whole job is to push other things around, right? To herd sheep and to bend things to their will. So she's got opinions. I mean, she does want to please us. I know, but she also will, if she doesn't feel like it, she's like, no, this is what's going to happen now. And she does all sorts of she's got little dolphin, like fox nose that she's good at poking all over the place. Florence's mom said, the dog is ugly and is mad because you got a dog instead of me. Okay, well, I mean, maybe you could be a little less direct about it, but I wouldn't fault someone, a romantic interest partner's mother wanting the baby, thinking you need to have kids. That's a tale as old as time, Brad. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. The fact that she's taking on the poor dog and like saying the dog's ugly, that's not cool, but it's been made clear to her for years that the baby is not happy. That's not going to stop her. No one who wants their child to have a baby is going to be stopped from having the baby. And I don't know what the politics of that decision were, but she probably thinks that she can get her daughter to want to have a baby and then by extension get her to get you to agree to it. Who knows? But you'll probably get that pressure, and that's like whatever. I don't think that's too unusual. It's just that a lot of people's parents are not quite as upfront. They're not quite as direct about it, but it's not that unusual. She usually acts cool about it, but the dog brought out something ugly. Well, it could just be seeing, I mean, it's brought stuff up in our house a little bit because You know, the funny thing is Amanda doesn't usually like animals that much. I mean, we have lots of friends and family with dogs, and she's always kind of like, oh, dogs. And I'm always the one that's like, hey, the puppy, come here, be my friend, be my friend. Amanda's always like, I don't trust them, they're darty, I don't know what they're gonna do. Even if they're nice, she's always a little off about it. But she has clicked like 150% with Millie. She is so like attentive to her and just would do anything for her. It's completely bonded to Millie. And seeing the way, and she worries about Millie all the time. It's like, was her poo too soft? How many poos in a row were too soft? Is she okay? Do you think she's okay? And I'm like, just relax. You know, like but she's good because she learns all this stuff, like what dog can eat and can't eat. Like it's amazing. But at the same time, like between the two of us, I'm usually the one in our relationship that's worries more about things. In fact, Amanda's always telling me, it's for years, one of her main things that she's sayings that gets applied to me is don't borrow trouble. Don't worry about the thing until it's a thing. And with the puppy, it's like, oh, that poo was a little soft. And then we changed her food. And now her poo's not soft anymore. And she doesn't have any poo muscles. So she has to like work real hard to make the poo happen. Then she's like, do you think we should give her something to soften her? I'm like, no. It's okay. It's good that maybe she needs to build up a little bit of muscle in her pooper. Her pooper needs to get some, because everything's just been kind of flying out of her with no effort. She needs to build up the muscle. Chinese parents are extremely upfront about their desires for grandchildren in ways that would not pass in the U.S. I gotcha. Wait, but it's been 20 minutes. Is Skull Sphinx still here? Not Skull Sphinx. Sorry, it's okay if you're still here. He usually takes off. Keith, is Keith still here? I was gonna sing Keith happy birthday after we had greetings, and then we got up on dog talk. Dog is center of my life. And Brad, since you have a dog too, now we've got this thing that if we get talk. Keith! Okay, good. You're still here. I want to get this. I want to get you your birthday song and not have you be like, God damn, I waited 45 minutes and I didn't get my song. And he forgot about me, which, let's be real, it's the sort of thing I would do, is just forget about it because I got talking about something else. All right, hold on. Where's the thing where I do the, here we go. Let me see. What's the good birthday one? Do you want, Keith, do you want my old school, happy birthday? Or do you want the newer metal version? The other one is still pretty plucky. So, but it was my original happy birthday song, and then at one point I got a metal version, and I think now I've got both of them. Although, let's see, I need to get rid of the Eevee thing. You're here. You want the metal birthday? Okay. This is the rock version. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Keith, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. To you. That's what you used to be Animal Layer, and then a few years later you became Animal Lawyer, but now you're Keith Roska. Happy birthday to you. See how I didn't ask how old you were? You don't have to tell us because that's your own business, but you can if you want to. Happy birthday to you. To you. I'm getting happy birthday, Keith. There you go. How's that? What a rendition. What a rendition. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. I almost was going to put up the, I was like, oh, I can't. I got to make sure if I do the classic birthday, I can't have the Eevees up there. Okay. Let's have the Eevee happy birthday. Little, all right, we get back to it. You're welcome, Keith. I hope you like that. I hope you clip it and record it and you play it for all your friends. how this famous streamer on the internet saying happy birthday just to you. Be like, he's an internet celebrity. You've heard of him. He's the gaming lawyer. Yeah, he's saying me happy birthday. He's like, we're good like that. You just don't tell them there are only 4 concurrent viewers listed at the time that I sang it. It'll be more impressive if you don't mention the 4 concurrent viewers at the time. All right, back to this. Happy birthday, Keith. You wait every year for it. Hey, look, there's Nick C. How you doing? Evening, Nick. So how's everyone doing tonight? I already know a little bit how Brad's doing with his dog. What is that game you've been playing, Brad? Now I need to look it up. Now, I was already thinking about JRPGs because I got the Steam Deck. Last time I streamed a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that I had ordered a Steam Deck because we spent so much time babysitting the dog, and the dog can't be let to go in the living room unless someone's watching it. And if I try to close on a night that I babysit the dog, if I try to close the dog with me in my room, it gets a little fucking weird. Dog gets a little crazy, so I can't. It's okay. It sort of works, but I have to pay attention to the dog the whole time, or it gets like weirded out because it's claustrophobic in here, I think. So I was not playing PC games at all, and a lot of times I'd just be sitting in the other room watching TV while the dog slept. But if you try to leave or relocate the dog, she freaks out a little bit. So that's Aiden Chronicles 100 Heroes, and that's basically like it's a spiritual successor to the Suikoden series, which was really popular in the I remember the 2000s. I think I had Suikoden 3 on the PS2. Was that PS2? I had that a long time ago. I didn't get too far into it. Not that I didn't like it, but I just I've always gotten games, and then a lot of them I don't get that far into. It's been one of my habits forever. Suikoden 3 is the best one, in your opinion? Most people prefer 2, okay. And I think, was it in one of your videos that you said that this game is made by some of the same people, and it is echoing 2? Like they're sort of rebooting themes from Suikoden 2. Anyways, I haven't watched all of them, but I've put on multiple ones of them, like when I'm in bed or drifting in and out, and just to have some Brad going in the background, sort of like I do when you stream and I'm sleeping. I put on the Brad, and so I've heard a little bit about the game and seen the gameplay going, and it made me. Well, I got my Steam Deck. So I gotta say, Evie, the Steam Deck is I really enjoy it. I've been enjoying playing around with it, trying different games on it. This is the Steam Deck OLED. It's the 1 terabyte. It's sort of like the top. They just came out with. It's basically like the Steam Deck 1.5. It's not exactly like a second version, but it's like an upgraded version of the original. And I've been really impressed with it. And I've had a lot of fun with it. And so like what I actually just did, in the last couple of days, I really decided I want to play a JRPG again. And I wanted to play Trails in the Sky. It was that or Dragon Quest. Those have been the 2 games on my mind. And so I had Trails in the Sky on GOG, not Steam. And so I actually went through a whole bunch of things to figure out like how to get GOG games installed and running on here, how to let the cloud sync work between the software used on the Steam Deck that can use it. And I got that all set up, but there were still some inconveniences and some compatibility issues. And it just so happened that as of yesterday, Trails in the Sky went on sale on Steam for $9.99. And so I was just like, well, screw it. I'll just buy it. And then the other thing, this is a little less of a good deal, but I'm a little more bitter about this. Brad, you might have an opinion about this. Brad, you and I bought Dragon Quest XI, like pretty much within a month or 2 of it releasing on PC. And then, like 2 or 3 years later, they released the Dragon 11 S Definitive Edition. And essentially what it was is they remastered the game on the Wii, or not the Wii, on the Switch, a couple years after the main release happened. And they did all this quality of life improvements. They upgraded the music to orchestral instead of MIDI. And they added certain things that like just look really nice. Now, apparently they did reel back the graphical quality just a little in some ways, but although in other ways it actually runs better. And so I downloaded the demo and I was comparing, and I was like, and I was looking up a lot of opinions, and there are a lot of people that have bought both, and they say if you're gonna play it, if you already played it and you're gonna play it again and start from the beginning, it's actually worth getting the new version. And of course that's up for opinion, but that was also on sale this week when I was looking, and I was like, fuck it. So I now have the Steam version of Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, so it like syncs really well. Like the GOG version, the cutscenes didn't work. They would like, you had to disable them every time you would play it on the PC and then go back to the Steam Deck. You had to manually reconfigure all of the game settings or else it wouldn't launch. And the Steam version fixes that. So for $9.99, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, Brad, I agree. You're annoyed that they didn't do anything for existing owners, but the base game is so much, at the end of the day, you're fine. And, you know, part of it is that they do add some extra content to it. They also add some convenience and quality of life. And one of the things, in addition to all the other things that sound appealing about it, one of the biggest selling points for me is apparently they have like a turbo mode for the combat that when you really get into the sort of the grind of it, it speeds up the combat. And there are people that have played both versions say that's a lifesaver. Like, they couldn't imagine playing without the ability to speed up the combat. Not that you're going to always do it, but when you really... And the problem that I keep thinking about, I've had the game for years and never finished it. I've jumped into it a few times. I've given it a go. And then I thought that's one thing that could make a difference for me is being able to like speed up the combat, because I remember hitting like A, just trying to speed it along as much as I could, because it would just, I'd be getting impatient with like, oh goddamn, another combat, you know, and it was just like I couldn't make it go fast enough. If it was just like a run-of-the-mill generic encounter where like all you just do basic attacks from everybody and they're dead in like a round or two and no one's even hurt, it's like some of those combats got a little tedious. So all of that together made me think, like, I'll put it on my wish list and see if it pops up on sale. And then maybe I'll play Trails in the Sky. And I've been real torn between which one I would rather play. So Dragon Quest XI is a much more polished experience. And it's also a lot less of a commitment if you are gonna play all the way through, because Trails is like 12 games now. If you really get into Trails is the Trails in the Sky is one trilogy, and then there's the Trails of Cold Steel, which is, I think they're up to 4 or 5 of those now. I can't remember. They just released one this year, and then they released some Japanese ports a couple years ago that were never available in America before, to take place between Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel. And they're all part of the same story. It's like the Marvel Universe, the MCU. It's like they're all part of the same nexus of events that all reference and relate to each other. So it's sort of one of those things where if you're really going to appreciate what this series is, you're going to want to play all of them, because that's where it's the way that everything fits together is what ultimately makes this series special compared to every other JRPG series. Yeah, speed up in JRPGs is always welcome. And also Trails in the Sky has that as well on the PC version. Apparently they put on Switch, they put on something else that didn't have that. And that's something I didn't realize either. In America, like, PC was the main release, and then it wasn't on consoles initially, and I think they've like slowly expanded that a little bit. So yeah, so anyways, in case anyone's interested, Trails in the Sky is $9.99 right now on Steam. Although Brad and Evie are the two people that, like, I saw you already own it. So, and then Dragon Quest XI, the original version that Brad and I bought, you can't even buy that anymore. Like, the Steam store has just replaced it with this. And yeah, as Brad referenced earlier, the things that sucked is if you bought the original one, when they released this upgraded version, they didn't, like, you would think at least they would have been like, hey, it'll cost you $40, but if you own the original, you can get it for half price. Or if you own the original, you can get it for $14.99 or something. A lot of things do that. And then hell, a lot of franchises, if they did something like that, if you bought the original game, they just update it for free. Like, they wouldn't even make you pay for it. But sometimes they'll come out with a substantively new edition, and they'll allow you, rather than buy the game over again, they'll allow you to pay like an upgrade charge that's a fraction of the original thing. And it kind of sucks they didn't do that. But that is on sale right now for, I think, $23 on Steam. Dragon Quest XI's Definitive Edition, which is a pretty good deal. That's the cheapest it's ever been. So I mean, in the future it might get cheaper, but if you are ever interested in Dragon Quest XI and you don't have it already, it's $23, maybe $23.99. I don't know, but it's on sale right now. So I bought both of them yesterday, and then I've been testing them out. I installed them today, or maybe I bought them this morning. Like, I put them on my wish list yesterday, and then this morning they both were on sale. I was like, holy shit, and I bought them both. It's on PS Vita. Okay, I knew it was on something, but that it was not. Like, it's the sort of games that I would think would be, especially on, you know, like Switch seems like one of those consoles where people who develop games like this would go straight to it, because it's a good fit for the Nintendo audience, at least I think. The PS Vita is supposed to be a sneaky good RPG machine. All right. I don't know a lot about it, but it sounds like that might be, if it gets that reputation and that bears through with like developers of RPGs actually being like, hey, let's screw the Switch. We got to make sure our thing gets on the PS Vita, because it's like this. It's the unspoken handheld epicenter. Because it's Golden Week. Is that what it is? Japanese holiday and games on sale right now because of it. I had no idea. That's so crazy, though. It's like, literally, I was like, I could play what I already have, and I sort of had the GOG version of Trails like working. And the thing that's cool about that is that also made it so now I basically know, like, if I want to play Cyberpunk 2077, I don't know if I want to play that on a controller, but I might try it. I can now play it and sync it because I have the GOG version of that. There are a bunch of games that I have on GOG, and also the Epic Store, because they sort of share the same software that you can like use for the Steam Deck. So that was stuff that until a couple days ago I didn't know how to do. I knew you could do it. I know you could put non-Steam games on. But I thought you had to, like, install Windows or some shit. Like, I thought it would be a big pain in the ass. It turns out it's not. You don't have to install Windows because there's all that, like, wine and other shit built in. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was to run non-Steam games. But there still are, like, hiccups and stuff like that. Like I said, the GOG version of Trails, part of the problem is you know, Trails is a 2004 game. And so there's certain weird settings that you have to set. Like, by default, the video format that they use for the videos, the cutscenes, is incompatible with Linux and with the Steam, therefore also with the Steam OS. And so if you try to launch it with cutscenes enabled on the GOG version, the game won't even launch. So you have to go every time special to, like, disable those. But yeah, and then it was like, I would like to be able to hop between the desktop version and the handheld version. That's one of the things, like the Steam Deck, there are a lot of reasons that are very particular. I thought when I started thinking about wanting to do some handheld gaming, that I wanted to go to the Steam Deck. And it's basically because I've got 1,000 games on Steam that I've accumulated over the last 20 years. And like from, just from sales, Humble Monthly for however many years now I've been doing that. It's like, whatever, I got a lot of games. And then from other stores, like Epic Store, I've been getting a bunch of free games from them, so that library is growing. GOG, wherever it is, I've got games all over the place. And so I was like, hey, if I could just, like, with whatever I'm playing on my PC, or not anything, but a lot of the games that are on Steam or PC, you can play on the Steam Deck. Shockingly, I'm surprised at how many games are actually compatible. But even when you used to get excited, like, hey, that game looks cool, I should get it for the Steam Deck. And I was always being like, make sure it's compatible, because I know they got problems with that and shit. Now that I have it, like, it is true there's some games aren't compatible, but, like, there's so much that, like, either it'll work perfectly or you can still make it work. But it's something maybe like 25% of games just flat out won't work, but more games than not are going to be able to work just fine. Either right out of the box, you just launch it and it works, or with some minor tweaking. And allows you to, you love it because it allows you to tinker and figure things out you never thought I could do before. Yeah, it's fun. Like, just me figuring out how to make GOG work. It's very much one of those machines where you get interested in, there's something you want to make happen, and then, there's also a lot of, community and a lot of discussion online, so you can look stuff up, and whatever question you have about the thing you want to do, you can almost guarantee that there are people that know this stuff backwards and forwards that have already figured out if it can be done and how to do it. So you love tinkering with files to make games work. Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of used to doing that a little bit on PC, with all the modding and stuff that I do. And that'll kind of be interesting if I play any games that I like to mod. Like Fallout 4, the new version is considered completely Steam verified. I got the Fallout itch, and I installed Fallout 3 on the Steam Deck, and it plays perfectly on there. It's just, the main thing is I'm used to using a mouse for a shooter, like if you're gonna do first-person shooting. The Fallout series has that VAT system where you can pause. It's like a tactical pause, and you can select the body part, and it'll shoot automatically. So then you can get an old DOS machine. I don't want to tinker that much, Brad. I don't think I ever had I had an Apple IIc, and it was like in BASIC. I guess that might have been DOS. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm tired though, you guys. That's one reason why I was like, one appealing thing about Dragon Quest over Trails in the Sky is there's so much dialogue in Trails in the Sky that I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with that on stream. But I thought, if I'm ever gonna play the Trail series, and I'm gonna play that much into it, then I'm going to stream it, and I'm just gonna need to kind of get over that. But I think Dragon Quest might be, it's more visually, the pacing is better, it's more visually appealing. Maybe could potentially for a lot of people be a more interesting game to watch be streamed. I don't know. I barely got any churn out for the vote. There were 3 votes on Twitter. 2 were for Dragon Quest. 1 was for Trails. And then Brad, who doesn't go on Twitter, voted for Trails on Discord, because I said, feel free to give your feedback here. And so at the end of the day, it was just a toss-up vote-wise. And then, since Brad inspired me to want to play this, it was what pushed me over the edge to want to play this in the first place. I was like, I'll follow Brad. I'll take it as a sign that Brad expressed a preference. Although this is unusual to hear this from Brad. Brad said both games are good, but I'll throw in a vote for Trails. How often do I propose 2 games to vote on, and Brad likes either one of them, let alone both of them? Let's see. You were debating getting Judgment and Chaos Child visual novel game. Oh, they've got like a combo thing. Oh, Brad, I'd never heard of either one of those. You have an exciting thing coming up at the end of August, so we'll pass along one. And then sad face. That means you can't buy all the games, if I played JRPGs more, this would be normal. As in, Brad would have more enthusiasm for the games that I either play or propose playing if I played more JRPGs. Well, the other thing that I was really excited about was, and Ali, yeah, you were surprised too? That's pretty unusual. Unless it's like, for some reason I was like, yeah, I'm going to play, I can't remember the name of that D&D game, that old one. I don't know why I always want to say Curse of the Azure Bonds, but that's the second one. A Pool of Radiance. Pool of Radiance. It's a continuation of the action-based Yakuza series. Alright. Yeah, at some point, I probably want to play the Like a Dragon stuff too. I was excited also when I figured out how to install the GOG and Epic Game Store games, because they use the same installer for both on the Steam Deck, the same like third-party installer, and that means that I can play Final Fantasy VII on my Steam Deck, and that would be a perfect game to play on a controller on a Steam Deck. I mean, it's good enough that it would be great to play on a bigger screen too. But if I'm going to be like lengthy games that I can jump between, like I've got such a comfy chair in the living room. It's so nice. It's so nice to sit down and have this and just be able to play the same game that I was playing in here, just continue it through a cloud save. I've really been enjoying having a Steam Deck so far. This exciting concert called Rocklahoma. There's tons of rock artists playing for 3 days. Disturbed set it off. Evanescence. Oh wow, okay, cool. And it costs $250. That doesn't surprise me at all. That's actually, based on how much shit costs that day, that doesn't, for what that is, for all those big names, that sounds like actually a pretty good deal. But that's not cheap. I'll agree with you there. That's like, And hey, look, it's Stone Raven. How you doing, Stone? Greeting us, as always, as the Lawcocks. Fair enough. How you doing, Stone? So let me see, what other exciting stuff has happened? I actually, before I got the Steam Deck, the game that I was playing that week, before, I didn't stream last week, but that previous week, the main game that I was playing was Fallout 76. If I had streamed last week, I probably would have done Fallout 76. Last week was a combination of stuff. Like, I was running super late on Thursday. I knew things were running really late with like stuff with the dog, and I got the Steam Deck like delivered right as I was getting off of work that day. And so I was just really distracted, and I want to be able to play around with the Steam Deck and stuff. And then, this is probably going to hurt Brad's feelings a little bit, but this past weekend I played Dungeons & Dragons, so I also knew that I wasn't going to be able to like do a makeup stream because I had to prepare for that shit. So yeah, last week was just, I'm sorry, Brad, I don't want, it's bad enough that I'm playing D&D with my lifelong friends, but I stopped playing with you and continued to play with them. But to have that game be a factor in why I'm not going to do a bonus stream, probably like rubbing salt in the wounds, Yeah, Brad has feelings. He has very strong feelings. So there's just they're not always about the same things that other people care about. So Brad will be completely indifferent or cold towards things that other people care about. But he has very deep emotions, Brad. They just sort of go in other directions. They go in unexpected channels, we'll just say. That's my assessment of Brad. That's not a bad thing. I find Brad to be a very interesting person. I'm always curious to know what Brad's going to think about a thing. So, unlike you, Sourpuss Stone, we always know what's in store when Sourpuss Stone shows up. Comes in, calls his cocks, then hangs out. But nah, actually, when you come in here, you're actually pretty chill. Once you get past calling us all a bunch of Lockhawks. So, yeah. So that's what's been going on in my life. Let's see. What else? We've been watching. We still haven't finished 3 Body Problem. We got when we started. I showed Amanda Fallout 76, and she got obsessed with it. She actually seemed like she was more into it than I was. Like she was almost more excited to watch it than I was. And she's never played a Fallout game, so I think that speaks a lot for the series. But let me see. Anything else exciting? I might jump in the game here in a second. So I think I've decided now. I can't promise I'm gonna finish all the Trails games, but there's I keep coming back to it, and I really want to experience that series. I just don't know if I have the stamina for it, but I have an intention to do the Trails series. So I was almost thinking too, it might be like try to get through at least the first one, and then maybe just take a break with other games. Although people say if you finish the first one, it's like once they do the setup, like the pacing's a little slow because they're setting everything up, and then once you get past that, it's like things get crazy, and you're gonna want to binge it from there. So we'll see what happens if I get that far. Oh, you can play a lot of Empyrean with the crew. Okay, that's cool. I like Empyrean. Like I said, I haven't played it in a couple years. But I've always been a big fan of that game. I've never done a multiplayer. I know you've invited me to, so it's just y'all know how I am about multiplayer. For the most part, gaming is like time for me to be an introvert, be by myself. I don't want to talk, except when I'm streaming. But that's also why I only stream once a week. 2016, 2015, when I started streaming and I did all my gaming on stream, I burn out because streaming is my quiet time. A lot of changes in the game. So yeah, I think the last time that I played it was on stream, and it was maybe a year, possibly 2 years ago. So it wasn't super far back, and it was already a hell of a lot different. Like when I played it the most was probably like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I know it was a lot different then. It's been in early access for a long time. It's been in an enjoyable state for a long time too. It's just they keep adding more like really substantive additions to it as time goes on. You plan to go to the concert with your best friend, and you're just waiting on her to see if she gets all 4 days off of her. All right, cool. So, oh yeah, one other cool thing is since I'm going to play a game with a controller, usually I have my little table set up over here that I think looks stupid, so I always have the camera closer up on me, but since I don't need my little table with my law books that I use for my mouse pad to play the game, I'm just going to be sitting here with the controller. I'm sitting back further, I lit the camera, so this is like more of me than usually shows up on camera. So, but it's because usually I'm trying to hide that, like the table, keep that little table out of frame, because that's usually sitting like right here. So that's why my camera usually cuts off around here, like this. Lots of new factions since last year alone. Okay. Yeah, no, I've been really impressed. That's an example of a developer. Like, yes, it's been in early access forever, but that developer has not been sleeping on the job. That developer has done so much shit for that game. More layer, yeah, the table of law. Call. Oh, that was a couple of streams where I've read from the law books. Those were the 2 law books that I've been using as an armrest for the last 6 years on that, because the little table, the TV tray that I use is not quite high enough for comfort, so I put a couple law books on there, and I for my mouse, for my elbow and my mouse pad. That's why I have the 2 books. One's in the front, one's in the back. They started with 1 man, and now I didn't realize they had a team now. Like, I guess I always knew it was a small studio, but I think I thought it was one guy. But now he does have like a team. Okay. I can't guarantee. Okay, in a sense, Ali, you're gonna get another reading tonight because I'm playing Trails in the Sky, which apparently this first installment alone has like twice as many words as The Lord of the Rings. So if I'm streaming this, you're getting a reading. That's one of the reasons I'm hesitant to stream it, because I'm like, I'm gonna be reading so much shit, and this game's got so much reading. So we'll see. If I haven't completely lost my voice and I'm not completely exhausted, I have to start streaming a little later. I'm not making any promises about reading a law book, but I know that, did you enjoy? I know Brad did, but Ali, did you enjoy when I read? Evie fell asleep. Evie apparently didn't appreciate it. Oh, Evie, I wanted to ask you, this is one of those things where every now and then I'll look back at my stream and I'll realize I missed a comment. And I saw that you said that you played and finished Heavy Rain. And I'm assuming you did that on your Steam Deck, but I remembered that, and I actually Heavy Rain was a game that I installed last week to try and play, and one of the main controls is like asking you to shake your controller, and I was like, what the hell? It was right the first 5 minutes of the game. It was like, shake your controller, and I was like, huh? And like nothing happened, and so I said, I don't want to deal with this shit. I want to play something else. So I didn't play it anymore. I don't know if I was in it for the long haul, but I was curious to try it, and if it hadn't been for that problem, I might have continued playing. But you played it on the Steam Deck with no issues. But there's got to be some way of changing the settings to make it work. I just wasn't interested enough to do it. I was just wondering if you encountered any problems like that, where it seemed like they were asking you to do a quick time event control that the Steam Deck wasn't able to do. Oh, you hooked up a controller. Okay, that's what it is. You didn't use the Steam Deck. You used a controller. Which, I mean, this is Bluetooth. I have it synced to my computer. I don't know if I can hook this up. Because this actually relies on a USB dongle, I think. I don't know if it has straight up USB connection. Anyways, so I don't know. If I really get interested in playing it, I might check it out again. The thing is it says it's Steam Deck verified, which means you shouldn't have to do jack shit to make it work. And then 5 minutes in, something happens where I'm like, oh, this doesn't work, so I did stop playing it. Again, I didn't even Google it. Like, if it was something that I really had a commitment to playing, I'm sure I could have made it work. Since I thought of it, I thought I would like mention it to see if you'd had any problems with it, since you just played it on there. And I think you said you liked it, right? What did you think of it? As the same people that did Detroit Beyond, or is it Detroit Beyond Human? It's the one that I played a couple weeks there. Detroit Become Human? I don't know, something human, which I really enjoyed. Same makers. You just need an adapter. Okay, I gotcha. You can connect controllers by USB dongle. Okay, so like, I guess it's just like a whoops. I have to look at it again. There's this little doohickey down here that I don't know what it is. Then there's a USB-C, which you use for power, which may also serve as a USB port. I haven't looked into it that much. Oh, the thing on the bottom is the micro, super itty-bitty micro SD thing. That's what that is. So I guess the thing that you use it to charge is also a data port if you have an actual USB with data in it. Okay. You loved it. Okay. You got the good ending, but there are like 17 possible endings. Heavy Rain. Yeah, that game's on my to-do list. Like I said, I played like their first game, which is called Fahrenheit, and also called Indigo Prophecy. For some reason, it's had two different names. That came out before Heavy Rain, and that was ages ago, 20 years ago. I played that, and I really enjoyed it. And then Detroit Become Human, obviously, I just played, and I really enjoyed that. So I have a feeling I've liked their other games as well. And I own that and the Beyond Two Souls or whatever the other one is. I think that's all their games. Yeah. Anyways, I'll get to them eventually. They're nice too because they're not a lot of the games like this one I'm about to play. If I really want to get it's like it takes 12 games and I could play this as like a full-time job and it would take me like years to finish it. You've used an adapter to transfer files to your CD. Oh. Use an adapter to what? To transfer from what? Like from a PC? There's still obviously, I know you said if I have questions you can help. But so far it's like whatever question I have I solve in the moment, or I'm not interested enough to pursue it. But there's I'm sure there are things that like that, like how to transfer stuff through a cable on there. It's like that wasn't on my radar. All right. I didn't even stop to ask if the audio balance was all off. Or from a USB stick. Okay, I got you. I thought you meant like you hooked it up to your computer and was transferring files. So, yeah, I think I knew you could do that. So, now I'm not impressed anymore. No, that's cool though still. All right, well let's do, we're gonna go to the game thing. This one. 45 seconds of gameplay. 45 seconds of gameplay. And hopefully the game will launch and not be a bitch. There we go. And hopefully Steam... Is it capturing okay? I think it is. Let's see. Sound, background music, sound effects. I guess I have the in-game volume is way down. All right. Let me know if this sound balance is good. I don't think I want to... This sounds intuitively okay. You can see the game in all of its glory. Okay, good deal. My other windows on the side. Oh wow, yeah, it kills the whole audio if I go to the other window. All right. Still the best TV. Look at that stone. Usually such a sourpuss. Sometimes a sweet guy. All right, we're gonna start a new game. I have a game that I launched just to make sure that the cloud saves work, jumping between the PC and the console. Although I'm really, hold on. I thought I was doing full screen. You know what? I'm gonna jump out for 1 sec and see if I'm gonna check the launch options. Now that, let's see, trails. Here, let's go back here. Because it'd be really nice if I could do I thought I was doing borderless window, and usually borderless window will allow you to interact with the other monitor without the whole fucking game shutting down. But I think that might be the setting, but that's a setting that you have to change from the launcher, not the game itself. This is Heroes. What is that? I always forget what the full actual name is. It's like Heroes or something or other. The Legend of Heroes. That's it. So it'd be under L. There we go. We're gonna do the configuration tool. It's in windowed mode. Huh. All right. Well. All right. Well then, we're gonna go back to it. 45 seconds of gameplay. It doesn't say borderless. It just says windowed. So, I don't know. Whatever works. Oh, wait. Now is it not working? Did I fuck it up? This game is pretty temperamental. Damn it. Now it's not working. I didn't change anything. All right. Okay, let's go back to the configuration tool. And first off, let's cancel that shit. This is being temperamental as fuck. Change the orbment style. That's so weird because I didn't even save any of the changes in the launching tool. Gamepad, Xbox controller for Windows, display. Yeah. This is 40. Disable movies. This should work. That would really suck if it's just... Okay, there we go. I don't know what the deal is. Well, I know orbments are part of the game, but I don't think that's one of the launch options that would be preventing my game from working. I appreciate... Son of a bitch, why does this keep turning off? Maybe that's the problem. I think my Xbox controller is fucking up. Alright. Of course this happened. Okay, now I've got to take down the green screen in order to... There, you see this horrible... This room is a disaster, so you don't get to see that shit. Let me, I'm gonna do this. Turn the camera off. Here, let's go back to the... let's go.
Seconds of gameplay.
All right. Well, hopefully that works. Because I'm wondering if that was screwing it up. The Xbox controller kept dying. That looks really loud. Wired Xbox controllers don't like to stay connected to PC. You've seen have that a lot. You know what though? I've had this wireless one for a couple of years now, and for the most part, it's been solid as shit. Like, this is the first time that's ever happened. I think the only thing I did have to do is I had to change the position of the dongle. So, because the dongle doesn't like going through my desk, so I had to put the dongle up here, and then it'll lose connection. But this wasn't just, it wasn't that it was losing its connection, it was literally turning off, which I'd never seen that happen before. What kind of controller was I using for the other game? The one that Brad enjoyed? Are you talking about Pool of Radiance? Cooler Radiance doesn't use a controller. It's all like hotkeys. It uses your entire fucking keyboard. That's why it's such a pain in the ass to play. I might have been using my speed pad for that, but anyways. Alright. The Space Telltale game? Oh, Star Trek? Yeah, I was using this. When I was playing the Star Trek game a few weeks ago, that's like, basically it's the same. It wasn't Telltale, but it's basically Telltale. I was using this. Yeah, I was using this for that. You like the one that Brad enjoyed. That's why it's remarkable. It's like, yeah, which game? Oh, the one that Brad liked. Okay. That pretty much, that narrows it down, doesn't it? Okay. No, not load. Okay, average, normal, yes, please. Yeah, this is so huge. Alright, here we go. Alright, just get comfy. Daddy's real late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too. And Shara's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit more before dinner. Man's voice. Hey, I'm home. Daddy! Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you take good care of the house while I was away? Giggle. Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope, I'm fit as a fiddle. That reminds me, though, I brought you a present. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? That's sexist. I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you go play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. Why don't you come have a look? Oh, it's a boy. What? Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? Why is my present a boy? You never liked getting clothes as a child? Yeah. Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? He looks kind of dead if you ask me. I've treated his wounds, so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, we'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. So it's quite the turnaround there. She's like, meh, all right. He sure sleeps soundly. And he almost always looks the same age as me. Or he almost looks the same age as me. Yeah, he cares deeply about his hairstyle. Apparently, he leaves his... I don't know how old she is, but she looks like she's about 10 years old. He goes out on business trips and just leaves her alone in the house for God knows how long. All right, good papa. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair. And a pair of amber eyes to go with it. She whips on a pad while he's away? That's probably good. I did notice there's no bathroom in the house, now that you mention it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? Fess up? Yeah, whose kid? Who is this kid anyways? And why is he hurt? Why did you bring him here to our house? Is he just an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray mommy? Where have you been picking up these kinds of words? No doubt from Scheherazade, I assume. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake, that girl is going to get me into trouble one of these days with all her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business. I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. Where am I? So, you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please just try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Huh? You must be out of your mind. Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why? Now that's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just work out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey! You're sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just going to take it longer for your body to heal. And just, who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age? Now that you mention it. Wait a minute. Don't try and change the subject. Oh. Ow. Quit yelling. All right already. But you jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just going to make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind, just forget it. As a word of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh? Your name. You know, that thing people call you? I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? It seems like the logical thing to do, if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... ... Cliffhanger. What is his name? Find out next time. Time for the big opening cutscene. I'm gonna run out of things to drink. Oh, I got like this much water in here. The Trails of Cold Steel first game is also on sale right now. The whole franchise is on sale. Now I know why, because of that holiday thing. I was tempted to buy that. It's 50% off. Some people just start there, but then they always end up regretting not starting here. This is like the beginning. Though I looked on that site that I use for tracking game prices, and it said that Trails of Cold Steel has gone as low as $8 just within the past couple months. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't jump on buying it for $19.99 if I'm gonna play this first. I was considering, if it was cheap enough, getting that and starting there, since I've tried 3 or 4 times now to get into this game, and I always stall out. Although last time I played it, I got pretty far. Do I know about Proton DB? Yeah, that's one of the emulator things for Windows games. Website that shows which Steam Deck games are able to run truly fixes and games that are unsupported. Now, I did not know about that. No. Though I have heard if a game says it's unsupported, that there are ways often to still make them work. So. So far, I've got so many games. There are very few games that are unsupported that I wanted to play on it. So I haven't got to that point. And I think Steam Deck is going to be perfect to play games like this. That's how I started getting excited about JRPGs. And then Brad started playing that game that's like Suikoden, and that pretty much sealed the deal. All of a sudden, I'm like, no, I'm shifting into a JRPG mode. But it's nice to know there's so much flexibility. It's a translation layer, Proton DBs. I'll have to research to see how Proton works in specific games. Okay. Trails in the Sky. There it is. The grand introduction. Maybe I also use that video for my stream intro. Eggs. Ugh, it's so bright in here. Yawn. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. I guess that's a no. Well, I guess I better get myself ready then, too. Joshua on the harmonica. Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. No, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind. Well, with that siren song appears gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. It's a little bit, a little weird. They're sort of like raised like siblings, and there's all this weird, whatever. What do you mean, woman? We're the same age, and I'm hardly a man. Tisk, tisk, tisk. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? You know why you couldn't think of the name for harmonica until I said it? Sometimes, like, that happens to me too. The word, you may know, but you don't have it in your brain. It's not available at the moment. Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try to sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is nice tune though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. A smooth brain moment. Exactly, Alalie. Yeah, no, I get that. That happens to me at work all the time. I'll be in the middle of doing something and just be like, what am I even doing? I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think a harmonica is much easier. It really is just a matter of concentration. Yeah, you're probably right. I guess my problem is that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I just start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl is going to be impressed with just that. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collection a long time ago. Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. A man's voice. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Have you seen something? Seen the meme about Sims? If you forget something, maybe your players cancel the action, like your Sims and you're left wondering. No, I haven't seen that, but yeah. I'm pretty sure someone's canceled my thought bubble more than once, especially when I'm working. Just like, what's going on? What am I doing here? What was I doing? Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't you both hurry down before it gets cold? Okay. I'm on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers, just like you, Dad. Oh, Brad's got a meeting. Alright. I guess we'll just do this. Until Brad comes back. Just kidding. Good luck in the meeting, Brad. I just put up the break screen until Brad gets back from his meeting. That means I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore, either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. Or you only become a junior bracer in the beginning. In other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you, too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of, then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning and training? Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it, I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you've survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? Ha, you're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Shara is going to be waiting for us there. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything particular you like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Rouen-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle for our stomachs. Ha 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 ha. Laughing. You're right. I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude. I can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. Received 500 Mira. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Sherazard my regards. Now I get to look around the house. To see if there's any treasures to pick up. You gotta check everything. Okay, the bed. I think this is Dad's office and bedroom. Okay, that's outside. No, I'm not gonna rest. This little treasure chest looks like something, but I can't interact with it. Alright, so maybe there is nothing for me to discover in the house. Alright. So this is the back of the house. I'm just gonna do a once around. All right. The bright house to the west. That's where we come from. Roland, 49 cells. South. Goron Gate, 259 cells. That sounds like a further distance. That's like 5 times more cells. But we're gonna go to the town. Okay, can't run on. I can't run off into the trees. It looks like we made good time. Not too early or too late either. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Oh yeah, I guess I did. Alright then. Let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracers Guild. Over there, then. The Bracers Guild. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Ada. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracers Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks! We'll do our best. See, this is where I'm like, if I'm doing 12 games and there's 50 hours each game, it's gonna be like, this is a lot of reading. Like, maybe this should... I don't know if I'm going to stream this a whole lot. Dragon Quest is probably better for stream, but... What do you guys actually like, hearing me do all this reading? I know you like supposedly listen to me talk about... Well, read law cases after stream, after game is played, so maybe you guys are into this. I just worry this is, like, super boring for you guys, but if you like it, that's cool. Alright. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician. She's looking at tarot cards. And last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for both of you to show up so early. Since this is my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm gonna work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. What, Joshua? Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an orbment with some practice, eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. Your friend got 4 days off approved. Guess you should buy your ticket and not buy those 2 games. Well, what a terrible time it is to be Evie having to go to a concert with your best friend. But yeah, it means you're going to spend it on one thing or the other. You get those games and cancel the concert, then you'd be sad too. Be happy about the thing you're getting, not the thing you're not getting. That's my advice. Or be sad now and happy later. I don't know. Whatever works for you. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. About orbments. What would you like to know about orbments? Orbments are magical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and type of quartz or process septum installed. Septium. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products, to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. Alright, what about the bracers? Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. About the Liberal Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberal, which is where we live, sits in the western half of the Zemurian continent, and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent, and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it has contended with the neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. Alright, that's all. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Huh, Sheriff? How is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Well, since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So, what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yeah, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on the first objective, shall we? Let's have at it! Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you'll be performing. But before that, there's something we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. All right, you two. Go get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Received Bracer Notebook. Like a quest journal. Bracer Notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything you may find and where. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's gonna be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an all-important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You see there's a bulletin board standing there? First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. Alright, so you get the jobs from the bulletin board. Got it. Training retrieval. Bracer skill. Let's see. Client Sherazard. Pay 500 Mira. Details direct request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. See Sherazard for details. Alright. Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will automatically be recorded in the Bracer Notebook. The Bracer Notebook can be found by clicking on the Books tab on the Items menu and can also be accessed by configuring a Bracer Book shortcut in the Configuration menu. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most important basic functions a Bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for Bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning how to use its services. He's graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. We're at the Orbital Factory. Here is where you'll learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. Racer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. Leave everything to me. Astute like a dumb voice from him. Sure, what is it? What is it you would like to know about? Orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since the orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. No, I'm still in basically the tutorial phase, Brad, but I'm trying to do silly voices. This is Old Man Melders from the Orbital Shop, trying to explain how orbals work, Brad. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened in an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. Brad, you gotta open your slots as soon as possible. That's the takeaway here. So, what is it you'd like to know about? Orbital arts. Simply put, orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. I think I bit off more than I could chew by committing to this voice for this guy. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized in an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So what is it you'd like to know about? Quartz. Quartz are actually circuits made from sepith. Turning into Peter Griffin. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities, while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. Giggity. I think I lost the original voice now, though. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots with which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This is crushing my soul to read all of this out loud to an audience. It's small, but still. It's like being stuck in a spotlight and realizing you just committed to a very boring show. But you guys say you actually like this shit? I don't know. That was before I got into the thing about the orbals. You bought your ticket and insurance on the ticket, $14.98. So you paid $261 in all. Well, let's see, insurance for tickets are worth it because okay. Well, that certainly is a lot of math to go over, but I'm glad you're happy with the decisions that you've made. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbit and decide where you'll be installing it ahead of time. So what is it you'd like to know about? Sepith. Sepith are fragments of septium, which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: earth, brown, water, blue, fire, red, wind, green, time, black, space, gold, and Mirage Silver. Sepith can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory, it can be used to synthesize quartz to an open orbit slot, in which to install the synthesized quartz. So what is it you'd like to know about? Leave. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all of your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some Sepith. Receive several of each type of elemental Sepith. With that amount, you should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay. But for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally in a shop, you'd be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training, you will not be able to use this service. Alright, this is how you talk to a thing. Okay. Have to hit modify and trade. Alright. So right now we're getting quartz. So Joshua can only use the time one. And I did scout ahead a little bit earlier in the last 24 hours. So I happen to know after you buy this, then they're going to tell you you have to slot one with an attack and one with a recovery. And this one, as it turns out, has a recovery. And a recovery art. So, just getting ahead of it. Alright, it looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your orbit, so you can use both recovery and attack arts. So these are like all the different elements and what they get you depending on how many you install. So, oh wait, did I get the wrong kind? I got a blue one. Which is the one that had all the recovery? No, it is blue. Huh, alright, well, yeah, that gives you recovery. So, Joshua needs the time quartz. And Estelle can use anything, but someone has to have recovery, so we'll put that on her. Using water for healing is a pretty classic JRPG move. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Now I think about it. I did. A number of games have done that. For some reason, I was thinking of Heroes of Might and Magic, and Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and Might and Magic in general. I'm remembering the elemental magic and water being. Anyways, yeah, you're right. All right, it looks like you've got both recovery and attack art set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. That's what I was just looking at. If you like to use more powerful arts, check out arts and quartz and the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have you open up a new slot in your orbits. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening slots, there would be a good idea to open them early on. Now I want you to use this Sepith and open a slot on each of your orbments. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Alright. Alright, Estelle. This is slot 2. I don't really know what the difference is between these. So, open slot 2. And apparently I cannot afford to open... They said to open one on each of these guys, but apparently I can't do it. So I guess we're just going to have Estelle do it. Let's see. What did we already give her? Water? What happens if I keep giving her water? Healing will go up. And the second one will give her even more healing. But she doesn't, it's too, her hit points do 200 healing already. And that's way more hit points than they have. So she doesn't need the extra healing. Maybe I'll mix it up with something else for her. Fire. I guess fire would just be a 10-point attack. So you know what? I am gonna get her another blue. Oh, and now I can't do that. I see you managed to open one of your augment slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular elemental, you are free to install any type of port you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mentioned it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Yeah, come on, Estelle, get serious. Exactly. The orbals will be fine. I do want to buy an extra one since she has that slot open. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready. How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? But I didn't get to buy my second orbital. Help me, Joshua. Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm gonna remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and? And I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracers notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief! Oh, look how happy she is. Ah, divine Eidos. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test? No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test. So how about both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I'll have in store for the both of you. No pressure or anything. Hey, we'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test. Wait, if you're so confident, then how about proving you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Roland's sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere in that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Tear Balm ×3. Monster Guide. What's this book for? It's called a Monster Guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You have a really good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Don't forget though, this is the exam. Or this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Alright, well I guess I can't get that second quartz because I didn't buy it when the quartz buying function was temporarily available. So I got an empty slot. Appears to be a recovery point set up there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. Okay. So we're at full, I think. Recovery point. Okay, gotcha. Sounds like a plan to me. Alright. First combat in the game. Only 2 hours into my stream. Monsters, 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Monsters cannot be seen from far away, but become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of the battle will change depending on how a monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. It's wearing me out, all this reading. I could do it, Brad. Battle order bar indicates who attacks first. It starts from the top and moves down. I too can only see 6 feet in front of me. It's nice and slow pace, but like the introvert in me does not like reading 1,000 pages. I remember I streamed this game once before a couple years ago, and now I'm remembering like I got tired from like there's so much reading. It's all like this game is more reading than anything else. All right, let's do some attacks though. And yeah. Okay. Attack. All right, I was like, damn, is it still up? Alright. Get in there. Oh, she's too far. Brad's full of shit. But it's not a nice thing to say about Brad. I've already exceeded your expectations. Wow, see, look at that. I've impressed Brad and made Brad proud. I feel validated. It was accurate. Oh, I got a juicy bone. Oh. So wait, saying that I've exceeded your expectations doesn't mean that you're proud of me? Lawyer sad. Eat the juicy bone? That's an idea. Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attack. Well, that'd be great if I could have bought the second physical attack. If I back attack an enemy, you'll be proud. Okay, now I got goals. I got goals. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but require time to cast. EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, or by using charge stations or other items, like an EP charge. No auto regen. That's old school. Oh yeah, I got arts, blah, blah, blah. I know, you just told me. Okay, all arts have an element. Turn the element most effective against your foe and use it. Alright. Well, all she's got is Aqua Bleed. And then, I don't think he's got an attack art. Does he? I guess his Soul Blur is kind of like an attack art. Makes it faint? I don't know what it does. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize it did damage. Hey. Alright.
We're good to go.
Good to go. A crisp onion. Yeah, Soul Blur did do just fine. I thought it was something like it would just let me do a status effect or something. Look, I'm gonna get this one from behind, Brad. Here comes that proudness I was looking for. Estelle, let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that! Crafts have range limits, but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing... That's craft points, I'm guessing. Is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. This is my chance. Alright, let's get fucking serious here. Alright. Crafts are character-specific skills, which not only deal out damage, but also have a broad range of effects. Crafts consume CP. CP is gradually gained by dealing out or receiving damage in battle. Still not proud. No, it's fair, Brad. It's still... But I did attack from behind. Oh, I guess I haven't actually attacked. If that's your point. Alright. Arts and crafts. Morale. A shout to encourage allies. Alright, fine.
Come on.
Come on! Strength up. What does his craft do? Dual strike. Ooh. Unleash a double slash with dual blades. Alright. That's 2 hits. Wow. I got screwed by the tutorial? Oh no, look, you got hurt. Alright, I think we just, does he have... No, he doesn't have no crap points. So we're just gonna attack. Yep, that's all. With that extra strength buff, that's all we needed.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Ugh. What do you think now, Brad? What do you think now? Look at this. Look at this. Do you see what I did? Ugh. You're out of CP? They shouldn't call them that. Oh. I didn't make that connection till right now. Brad, you said that if I attacked someone from behind, that you would be proud of me. And that's exactly what I just did. I don't get the sense that the promised pride has been delivered. That was not just a unilateral contract. That was a, whatever it's called when the 2 parties reach a meeting of the minds. I did! Well, it looked like a rear attack. Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was. Alright, never mind. Then you're released from any obligation to have any pride in my accomplishments. I'll just be a little bit, you know. I had a lot of hope. I'll just say that. I got another juicy bone, though, Brad. Another delicious, juicy bone. Hey, chest. Look at all that sepith. Yeah. No, Evie, he's not a liar. I was mistaken. And I didn't actually attack it from behind? I don't know, maybe I did. I got a reviving balm. Alright. The chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. Yeah. Even the game that's being snarky at me. Hey, I see you there. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-craft or S-break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-breaks are actions which allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring battle order. S-crafts which are unleashed as S-breaks can be changed by going to the tactics and then set S-break within the main menu. So many types of attack they may have overdone a bit. Yeah, this one... Alright. Hint. There are some actions which allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order once the CB cage has reached 0. S-crafts will be used as S-breaks. Can be changed. Yeah, we got that. Okay, press the break button? What's the break button? If you're using a keyboard, it may be numbers 1 through 4. Or, well, what? I don't know what the break button is. Is there... One would think that an Xbox controller would have this break button. I'm pushing all of them. Alright. A. Oh, did I do it? A? Really? Here.
Here I come.
I don't think it was A. Oh. Do I have to select it that way? Like a manual select? Really? Alright, I'm not going to use it right now because I think we're going to kill it anyways. Yeah, you have to like manually select the thing? That's a little bit... I wish there was just a button on here, because there's a bunch of buttons that don't do jack shit. There's one of them should actually just be a direct. Well, I guess you have a different button for each character, so, and you're gonna have a larger party, so I guess it would make sense that there wouldn't be a single button if you could potentially have like 3 or 4 characters buttons to activate. But, Oh, a miss! Uh-oh. Wasn't expecting that shit. Alright. A miss? Bullshit. More juicy bones, curative horn. What is all this business with juicy bones? juicy bone, an essential ingredient for soup broth. It is used in numerous dishes. Hey, Brad, looks like eventually I will eat the juicy bone. Just not by itself, apparently. What's this? The door is rusted and appears locked. Okay. Not as good as eating it raw, but you'll take it. All right. I'm glad we could reach some sort of a middle ground there. Something that's acceptable to all of us. Most of you talk about your juicy bone. Nick. Get your mind out of the gutter. I always thought you were such a gentleman. Except when I played X4 and there was a lot of talk about the cog. I guess there were happen exceptions. If we made it this far, the rest is going to be a piece of cake. Seems like we've got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether they are allotted to an ally or a foe. Okay. Using S breaks to ignore the battle order makes it easy to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus. Okay, these icons indicate bonuses allotted to the battle order. If the bonus icon appears next to a character's icon, they will receive that bonus. Hearts heal. And the red stuff is Sepith up. What does Sepith do again? Alright, well let's do this. He's got this thing. Alright, this guy is gonna get a bonus, so I'm gonna kill him with my bonus thing.
Let's do this!
Pretty epic right there. Oh, look at that shit. Look what I did with my power. Alright, I think we need to use an art to take out the other flying thing. It sounds like from the tutorial thing that those flying things are hard to hit with physical attacks. So we're just gonna take them out. Oh, it switches to the friend. I didn't realize that. That's a good... Okay, now I know. Alright, we kind of... He lost half of his health. Alright. That wasn't cool. Someone needs to step it up and face the challenge. Alright. That's fine. We'll do it. I'll do that. But then it moved on to me. Oh, I did get it. Okay. Alright. I'm going to... do an art. Speeds up the flow of time. Speed plus 25%. I don't know if that's helpful enough. Who does it speed up time for? Just me? Alright, let's do a soul blur, shall we? And then she's gonna do an aqua bleed on the other guy. Yikes. Alright. Can I shoot that guy from over here? Yeah. Oh, you gotta heal. I like that. Does she do another art on him too? Yes. Oh, I thought it missed. Quartz are just things you use to equip arts. Right. Sepith are used to make quartz. Oh, right. Okay, I'm not reading the sequence. You just explained how everything fit together. All right. Sepith make the quartz. The quartz are right. Hold on. Can she do a little heal on yeah, we're both a little beat up, huh? She only has 10 EP left. I guess she's the one with lower hit points right now. There we go. You can see you can see why they tutorialize so much though. There's a lot going on. And yeah, it's funny because I've when I was trying to decide which one to play, I was between this and Dragon's Quest. I was looking at different videos about like people's opinions about these games that I maybe hadn't seen because they're like within the last couple of years. And one of the guys whose channel that I follow, he played this game for the first time like a year ago and made a video about it. He's like to the moon about the series. And he was saying something to that effect, like they dump a lot of information on you, and at first it's like a little bit. There's a lot, but then once you get how it works, you know, it's actually pretty cool system. There's a lot of customability and flexibility. There's one unlocked that says all quartz okay. The others can't be used. Maybe just unlocked if she leveled up. Well, I think with hers, all quartz are okay. Like that just means all types. It's not restricted. Joshua only has one slot, and his is restricted to time quartz specifically. But hers, like the one she has, she could use any quartz. I just didn't I didn't get another quartz. They locked that function out of the shop, so I couldn't buy it, and then they forced me into this dungeon as part of the tutorial before I could buy it. Did not read in order again. Okay. You have an empty quartz slot. Nothing to put in it. Okay, yeah, to sort of read. Well, I'm going to keep reading to make sure that I'm not missing anything. But that is sort of what I said during the tutorial thing. I bought the extra slot, and then I realized, oh, I should go back and buy some quartz. But when I went back to buy quartz, it was grayed out. So either I didn't have the currency for it, but just the function to select purchase quartz was grayed out. So I was like, oh, and I know during the tutorial, they were limiting what you could access to specifically like what step you were in the tutorial. Like, for the tutorial purposes, you're not going to be able to do this other stuff. Oh yeah, that's right, you weren't here during that. So, yeah, so that's why I was a little, grumbling. And then once we were at the sewer, like, I was hoping she'd stop talking and I could run back to the shop real quick. But it was like, nope, now you're in the sewer. So it's like, alright, well, guess I'll manage. And I think we're okay, because like, we cleared the dungeon, and then there's that recovery thing in the dungeon too. I'm gonna hit that. Found small box ×2. That's weird. There's a couple boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact there's not just one, but two is kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside. Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's just what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with just a teensy-weensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yep, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as there were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua. I just can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shara when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. All right, all right. By looking inside the chest again. You flunked! Just kidding. This game. I'm telling you, this game. Alright. We're gonna go back to that rest point. That was the chest. Not even peeking is how you become unsuspecting drug runners. Nick, that's a good point. Don't ask any questions, just deliver the package. Like, what was in it? It's better if you don't know. But they did say as long as it's not illegal, it's none of our business. But therein lies the catch-22, Nick, which goes to the point you're making, is if you don't look in there to begin with, how do you know whether it's legal or not? Right? It's not like you go, well, I'm not going to look in there unless it's illegal. Because you're not going to know whether it's illegal unless you look in there. Catch-22. Alright. Just going to have us a little dungeon nap. Good work, you two. No, that's why I've never been a mule. I refuse to deliver if I don't know what I'm delivering. Might be a good policy. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Hand over small box ×2. Yep, they're the real deal, all right. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. Oh, that was a close one. I figured she would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shara, what's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and you to find out after your training is finished. That's when they find out that they were really drug mules the whole time. Yeah, the Braces Guild is an elaborate mafioso network of drug traffickers. The client says it's legal, but the client could be a filthy liar. Yeah, like what are they gonna say? If you say, what's in the package, they say, don't worry, it's none of your concern. Just know that it's highly illegal. Like, that would raise eyebrows. Why would they tell you? They're the real deal. 100% pure. That's enough chit-chat for now. He's changing the subject. Let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say that we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the result of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. When's this day gonna be over? Oh well, no sense giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed. It seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. We're back at the Bracers. Meanwhile, back at the Bracers Guild, the criminal organization has come to Bracers, assemble. Your final training is how to report to the guild, like literally just talk to the quest giver. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. And as you already know by now, Aina is in charge here at the Roland branch. In addition, this is where you will be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Upon approaching the counter, do talk, press OK. The button will say select report. Yeah. Report. Ooh. Jobs completed. Received payment for training retrieval. And Mira, 500. Gained BP. It's BP. British Petroleum. Current rank is Junior Bracer 9th class. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points, which are known as BP. Ah, not British Petroleum. It stands for Bracer Points. That makes sense. Yeah, blood points. No, Bracer Points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. You know, what's really bothering me is when they talk about the guild, the Bracers Guild, the B is capitalized. But when they talk about bracers, they're not. I feel like they... Well, I guess other things don't. Like if you're a chef, they don't capitalize that. Or if you're a policeman, they don't say police. But wait, if you're an officer, they capitalize. No, anyways. Like Officer Johnson. But that's part of a name. Never mind, I'm not going to think about it anymore. I'm too tired. Stupid. Okay. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a bracer and be awarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The ranks of a junior bracer start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebooks, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Aina, and I'm sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Like she gave 2 quests for these people and they turned them in? Damn. Yeah, it's like, oh man, so much work. Don't worry about it. Training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these 2 to the bone in any case. What? Why? She looks so happy about that. To the bone? No commentary about working to the bone, Nick? And knowing Shara, it involved the whip. Oh no. This is getting pretty questionable. Let me say it again. Oh, let's see. You only capitalize it as part of a proper name. If the name is Bracer Union, then that's the proper name. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why, because then I started thinking, yeah, that's not how other stuff works either. Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you'll be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then. Sherazard holds out the 2 small boxes. Aren't those the boxes? Aren't those boxes the ones... In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. This is where the entire charade of the Bracer Guild will be revealed. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet! Alright then, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open the boxes. You might capitalize if it was Bracer Joshua, right? Since it's a title used in conjunction with your name. There's a received Junior Bracer emblem. This crest is... So does this mean that we're... Amen, Shazarad said. Sherazard. Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright, beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as junior bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? We become members of the Bracer Guild. So I'm a bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world, we did it! In a screaming voice. Just pretend I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I think you're both still too young to be bracers. Yeah, I'm getting that impression too. I mean, Joshua admitted earlier that he's only barely a man. I don't know what that means. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just want to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shara. Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of a bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father Cassius trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for both of you, work hard and become full-fledged bracers early on so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Sherazard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who's always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right! Any new quests here? Hey. Hi there, Estelle and Joshua. Oh, hi, Ridge. Looks like your training is over, isn't it? I'm humbled to know that you two are the youngest ever to pass the bracer exam. Wow, really? I look forward to working with you in the same capacity. Ourselves as well. I have to get back to work now, but if there's something you don't understand, give me a holler. Alright. You got anything else for us? Congratulations, you two are now official members of the Bracers Guild. From now on, I'm going to be passing jobs out to you like candy. Bring it on is all I have to say. I look forward to working with this guild. Or with the guild. Any treasure? Treasure? Is there any treasure? Hurry up and come on! Wait for me, Luke. Huh? Oh, it's you two. Oh, great. It's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp. What's with the "oh, great, it's Estelle" remark? And what's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe. Tisk tisk, how wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Liberal than the milk that comes from Purcell Farm. What? No way! You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers. More like bracers in training, really. Don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now a high pony, on the other hand. Quit being a killjoy. Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for both of you. Ha, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart, adult, cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I was supposed to become a bracer first. I can accept that Joshua became a bracer before me, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle? Well, what's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer till you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. And that means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back. You better watch out, Estelle. I'm gonna go train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm gonna be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. All right, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. That boy, Luke, he's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. Huh? What do you mean by that? Don't worry about it. It's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. And that's not really what I meant by curious. Alright. General goods. Oh, I should save the game, huh? Hello there, Estelle and Joshua. What are you in the market for today? A new pair of shoes? Now that you mention it, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the newest Stregas? Unbelievable. You've actually already forgotten why we came in here to begin with? We're not here to shop. We're supposed to be buying a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, right? Ah, of course. You've always been a big collector of shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid the new Stregas aren't out yet. I do, however, have some copies of the Liberal News, if that's what you're after. Alright, I'll take one copy then. Comes to 100 mirror, please. Purchase Liberal News, issue 1. I know my dad always buys a copy of this magazine, but does it really sell that well? It sure does. The Liberal News has an excellent reporter and camera woman who have done a great job reporting the latest and most reliable news. They're even supposed to have a running story related to Queen Alicia's birthday celebration. But enough about that. Why don't you tell me what you did today? Did you make it as bracers? Today was your last day of training, wasn't it? Yep, everything went smoothly too. But how did you know all that, Miss Rinnan? In a certain sense, both you and Joshua are like celebrities here in Roland. I tend to hear a lot from customers coming through here. I shouldn't have expected anything less from Roland. The grapevine around here is seriously something to be reckoned with. No kidding. The women here especially love to gossip. Alright. One more thing before you go. This gift is my way of saying congratulations. It's a free sample I received with my shipment of goods, but don't hold the free part against me. Received recipe book. What's this supposed to be for? There are a ton of blank pages. It's a recipe book, isn't it? You got it. When you get hurt fighting, if you just limit yourself to healing bombs all the time, you're gonna cut pretty deep into your wallets. This is where a recipe book comes into play. If you eat food to recover your strength instead, it's basically free. Assuming you have all the ingredients anyway. So if you eat something new, write down what's in it, and you'll have lots of recipes in no time. So how about we try this out? Go ahead and eat this cookie, Estelle. Received maple cookie. Well, I have made it a personal rule to never turn down sweets. 8 maple cookie. Learned maple cookie recipe. Basically, all you have to do is eat the food to learn the recipe. It's as simple as that. As you're traveling about, you should eat whatever food you come across that you haven't had an opportunity to try before. Well, that sounds pretty convenient. It's not that I don't like cooking and all, it's just that I've never seemed to get any better. I'd sure love to be able to increase my repertoire and really shock my dad's taste buds for once in my life. That's the spirit. And in passing, if you're in need of any ingredients, I'd be delighted to service your cooking needs. You really know how to solicit your customers, Mr. Renan. Thank you for the recipe book. We'll put it to good use. Eating the recommended dish at restaurants or using to-go meals adds the recipe to the recipe book. By selecting the recipe book, all learned recipes will be displayed. As long as the necessary ingredients are available, the food can be made. There are 2 types of food: sit-down meals, which must be eaten on the spot, and to-go meals, which can be carried as items. Sit-down meals cannot be carried as items. Ingredients used for cooking can be bought at a store or acquired from monsters. Alright, we'll see what we got. This is interesting. Alright. There's all these buttons along the bottom that seem like you can't access them without a mouse. It's just weird that this game seems clearly intended for a controller, but then they've got the stuff like this. So like there's the monster thing, there's the recipe book, and there's the magic thing, camp. Okay, that just takes us there. And here's all the stuff that's actually in your inventory. Is a way to get to it from the controller. Recipe book, maple cookie, 1 fresh milk, 1 milled flour, 1 maple sugar. See how much that stuff cost. Oh wow. A lot of stuff. Now I'm gonna have to like write down what's in the recipe book. You think I can access them somehow? Alright, let me try it. Okay, so this is left trigger does the monster guide. This just does here's the thing is the right control does the camera pan, but so do these buttons. So it's like that's redundant. This button does nothing as far as I can tell. That was all, and then there's the click on this, that brings up the map. Oh, and this brings up the magic book. I thought there was a local map that I could look at. Oh well. I mean, I can access all this stuff, it's just... It is possible. Well, I know I can access stuff, I just don't think... I could probably find a way to rebind buttons if I, like, was super annoyed by it. I don't know if I'm quite there. Oh, I should get that extra quartz. Let's see, what do I want? Well, I think I want one for... Oh, she's got the... I was gonna get her a second blue crystal. And then... What does the time crystals do? Oh. Oh, and then I could go... Oh, I could go back and forth in here. Memo... Okay. Hey, Matus, how you doing? Call to you, sir. Hey, I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen you. Hope everything's good in Matus land. Alright, because yeah, getting him a second time crystal is going to just give him access to more powerful attacks, so that might be worth doing. And then these all have like passives. So what does the blue do? Max HP goes up. Alright, so they all have like different passive effects. Don't ban Ratus. I'm attempting with limited success to recover from surgery. Instead, you're leaking fluids like an old car. I'm sorry to hear that, Ratus. I mean, was this like a back surgery? I know you've had an ongoing like injury or issue that's been going for a while now. Like, it's been like a year. It's been a long time, right? Like you've been dealing with this this malady. But I can't. I know it's something very like debilitating. I can't remember what it was. The injury was last July, so yeah, almost. We're coming up on a year. Okay. Okay. What's that emblem on your chest? Congratulations, you two. So you finally become bracers, huh? Tee-hee. Thanks. Estelle, you're way too proud of yourself. You always have to ruin the moment, Joshua. I should be happy because I earned it. You should at least let me bask in the glory for a minute. Sometimes you can just be so... But Estelle, now that you become a bracer, you're going to have to get over your little problem with the orbital arts. What does that mean? Man, you too? Why do you have to go and spoil my day by saying things like that? If you have any other business needs, don't forget to stop by. They did a fix. Remains to be seen how well it took. Yeah, and that was when I used to do workers' comp stuff. Like, surgeries were... Let's just say we saw... Now, a lot of these well, what I used to see a lot in... was spinal and then the carpal tunnel were sort of the two big ones that would come up. Whether it was neck or lower spine and carpal tunnel syndrome. So they do like different somewhat common surgeries to address those. And it was always a little hit and miss. There were people that had surgery. Well, here's the thing. Is probably if they had surgery and it worked, then it wouldn't have been before. So what my sample size probably was not indicative of everything, because to me it sounds like oh, surgery doesn't work most of the time. But the thing is like I always saw cases that were being disputed from people that specifically wanted or needed more treatment, and they were being denied it. Which probably doesn't happen as much to the people whose surgeries fix their problem. So I don't know why I didn't think of that at the time. I just was like, yeah, surgery never seems to work. But those things wouldn't have been in litigation if the surgery had worked. So never mind. But I do know that for an awful lot of people, surgery is like it either on occasion it makes it worse. Sometimes it makes it better, but it doesn't stick. And sometimes it just like makes it a little better, but not enough. So yeah, you're really not going to know until it's been a little, until it's been a minute, till you've recovered from the surgery and seen how that goes. For sure. So I wish you the best of luck with that, Matus. I know that's no fun. All right, let's buy some quartz. Oh. So there's reason to buy all this stuff. But since we started her with the Yeah, we'll get insufficient. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay. And here's what we're gonna do. Slot. We're gonna open up a second slot for Joshua. Insufficient. Okay. All right. So we're back here. Let's get back to Estelle. So I can get her attack, evade, action. Those she can't get, and those she can't afford. Hit. That's Mirage element, Dex +5. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm gonna. Now I'm curious to what the Earth stuff does. Single attack, area attack. I think I'm gonna go with fire for her second one. Since I can't afford. Well, it is a lot, but I remember when I played this before, like, it clicked eventually. But it is one of those games where, like, I put it down for a while, and then I thought, not, you know, after a few months, it's like, oh, if I decide I want to go back to it, there's so much I'm gonna have to learn. There's so much I've forgotten. And that's why it's been a couple of years since I played this, like probably about 3 years since I played this, and at this point I'm just like, I'm not gonna pick up the save that I had. I think I was probably about 20 hours in. I'm not gonna pick up that old save and try and continue. I'm just gonna start over. Okay. Yes. All right. Do they do anything else here? Modified trade. Oh, this is where I could sell. Trade water. Notice if I want to sell the Sepith for. I don't want to sell the Sepith. I want to get more. So I guess I can sell it. I can sell the stuff, but I can't buy the stuff. All right. Let's see if. What's the arms shop got? Hey there, Estelle and Joshua. Good afternoon, Mr. Elger. Good afternoon, sir. Correct me if I'm wrong, but today is your last day of training, isn't it? Everyone knows. I seem to remember you saying something about it last time I had you run to the store. Or had you run the store? They run the weapon shop sometimes? Being a lawyer doesn't just give as much Sepith as it used to. I agree. Yes, that's right. So how'd your training go? That emblem on your chest means I shouldn't have expected anything less from Cassius kids. But we're still bracers in training. I see, but well, I knew you were going to have to give up your part-time job here sooner or later. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Don't sweat it. I knew it would happen eventually when I hired you on. It's a shame, though. There's hardly anyone out there with as good an eye for weapons as you. But that's the path you've chosen. So get out there and show us what you're made of. Are you having a cozy stream, Allie? It's basically like me telling like a story time for 3 hours or however long. Alright, what do they got to buy? You know what? Let's see. Prevents poison, prevents blind, prevents sleep. I don't think this feels like the kind of shit I want to find in a treasure chest rather than buy. I can't remember though, because some JRPGs, some of these old school RPGs, like you need to buy when new weapons become available. You need to buy them, or else you're fucked. And other games, if you're just a little bit patient, all the cool shit. All the cool like weapons and armor you're gonna find like from killing bad guys. It's like G-Law telling a tale of his adventures back when he was a kid. Yep, it's pretty much very much the way my childhood was. You're broke. I got a little bit of money. I certainly don't want to sell anything. All right, let's see about. I think there's a cafe up here. Or maybe I can. Hey, look at the bird. Birdie, birdie, birdie. What's this? Septian Calendar 1075. Erected in partnership with the liberal royal family, Septian Church, and Roland City. Destroyed during the 100 Days War when Roland was bombarded by Erebonian Imperial Army. Rebuilt with the cooperation of the citizens of Roland. Ah, Estelle and Joshua. Did the two of you really become bracers? Oh, this is like a kid. A kid voice. Hey, you became bracers. What? How did you know? That's because working in the media is my future goal. I'm going to join the liberal news service and work hard as a reporter. Don't take my information lightly either. Oh, sure thing. My gut feeling says that you two are going to be in the tabloids. Ah, well, thanks. Isn't it romantic that you two lovers are bracers who stand for justice? They were raised as siblings. I have this feeling that a juicy drama is about to unfold. Lovers? Joshua and I aren't lovers, we're family. Yeah, quit making it weird. I mean, can we just write this side story out of the game? Because I'd much prefer that the romantic interest isn't like someone with a sibling relationship. It just feels weird. I mean, I know they're not blood related, but that just seems like it's like some perv. It's like some perv in the writer's room was just like, hey, I want to do some kind of an incest story, but I want to throw in some kind of loophole so it doesn't count or it's not technically illegal. Yeah, why don't you be it like he's an adopted brother? Oh yeah, that's sexy. That's like half the porn. It's like half the porn movies in the in the video store. Claire wants to be an influencer. All right, yeah. You really don't understand anything, Estelle. Joshua is adopted, and things go either way in the future, right? Is it a Japan thing, Nick? Plus, leaving it at that would surely please the readers. Readers? Anyway, I'm looking forward to both of you in more ways than one. All right, this is an uncomfortable conversation. Hey, kitty. Is it Dougie? Kitty. Such a warm day today, isn't it? Looks like we'll be able to take a nice afternoon nap. Meow. That Errol. Alright. It's the cafe bar. Oh man, there's so many people. He's like, somehow I'll be able to get the lumber I wanted. Simon, our Septium purchases are going through fine, right? Since I spared no effort in coming all the way to Roland, failure is not an option. Wow, this is like everyone's got shit to say. Alyssa, welcome! Oh, Estelle and Joshua? It's been a while, hasn't it, Alyssa? Is there something going on today? Light bulb. Could it be that you're on a date together? Oh, Jesus, come on. The whole town? Is the whole town just rooting for us to hook up? Yeah, right. But anyway, check this out. I'm officially a real bracer. Well, congratulations, Estelle. You've always wanted to be a bracer ever since you were a kid, haven't you, Estelle? But don't bracers have a lot of dangerous jobs? Yeah, something like that. Joshua, Estelle, don't overdo it, and watch out for each other. And remember, real brothers and sisters like to kiss. Okay. Estelle, I added that. That was a joke. For anyone that's not looking at the screen. That the game didn't actually say that. I don't feel like you two have much chemistry, but maybe you can try gnawing on a juicy bone and go from there. Uh-oh. The whole town the whole town uses incognito mode. Estelle has this tendency to get in over her head. That's a very good observation, Alyssa. The only problem is that Estelle doesn't realize this herself. Humph! I'm standing right here, you guys. Joshua and I just care about you, Estelle. That's all. Anyway, don't get too full of yourselves and end up getting hurt, okay? Okay. Wow, everyone's got something to say. Let's see. I made a contact with some people at Malga Mine, and we're working on a few business details at the moment. Please, just wait a little longer. Okay, they're just having like a business conversation. Crunch, smack, slurp. Chew, chew, chew. Munch, munch, munch. Gulp. I'd better get back to the mine before the boss figures out I ditched work. Shady. Shady dude. Alright, who's this old coot? Hick! Oof, my son-in-law is still half a man when it comes to this business. This isn't an easy job, and it takes a good 2 to 3 years to become a real woodsman. Hick! Oh, alright. I don't know. Were we talking about being a woodsman? Hey, I decided to come behind the counter. That seems inappropriate. Here, let's do this. Let's keep it professional. Alright. A wholesome pasta. Yes. We ate the wholesome pasta. Learned the wholesome pasta recipe. What else you got? What do they buy? What can you buy here? French fries. A floury soda. Let's see. This heals 100 HP. 250 cures poison. And heals 100 cures blind. I think it's worth... I think this is a good way to spend money. Is to buy this shit. So it's in... I have these recipes. Yeah, they're juicy bone recipe. We'll have to see. No, just one. Just one of each. Yeah, we just want to eat them. We're gonna pig out so we can analyze the recipe and make our own. Alright, it's gonna be a waste of food this first time around. Oh, and then we can sort it by, let's see, is there a food one? Books, quartz, heal. It's just healing. Okay. Floury soda. Learn recipe for floury soda. French fries. Estelle, you pig. Try sharing with your brother. Your brother. Yeah, this is, some people say that carmine eye is an aphrodisiac. Just give it to your brother, see what happens. No pressure. Joshua recovers 0 hit points. Learn the recipe for carmine eye. Okay. Dirty rat. Why are there 2 entries? These are identical. Alright, whatever. Well, as long as I've got a mouse sitting around right here. When I'm using the Steam Deck... you just still have a mouse pad. I forget with the Steam Deck, too. Alright. Wholesome pasta is olive oil, milled flour, 5 milled flour, and beast flesh. Floury sodas, 1 bear claw, 2 maple sugar, carmine eye, gummy eyeball fresh herb, carrot, french fries. Wow, these all like have a lot of ingredients. Maybe I'll get ingredients for the maple cookie. Fresh milk, milled flour, and maple sugar. Fresh milk. Fresh milk. Oh, that's expensive. Alright. We're gonna see if we can find this shit out in nature. I'm gonna have to go out in the woods and milk something. Joshua, don't you look at your sister that way. Alright. Let's have a quick look around the town while we're here. I'm so distressed. He's my type, and I'd like to accept his proposal. But this place is not my ideal situation. Is the place or whatever really that important? Of course it is. This could be the memory of a lifetime. And it may be the place that comes to mind when I'm an old grandma lying on my deathbed. I just can't accept an alleyway like this as being that place. Ha ha, I guess this type of thing can only be understood by those involved. Let's see, what does this guy have to say? Is he trying to propose her in an alley? Is that what's happening? I've confessed to her several times since this morning, but I can't get her to accept my love. Oh, he's just trying to say I love you. Where's that George Carlin joke? Kiss her where it stinks. Take her to New Jersey. Anyways, we can use the word here. Take her, kiss her where it stinks. Take her to the back alley. Is that what you do in back alleys, Brad? Is that where you and your lady seal the deal? You're like walking down the street and you see this like really dark, dingy alley, and you're like, "Hey, come back to this dark alley for a minute. I want to tell you something." It doesn't seem like she hates me or anything. What am I doing wrong? But she just said right in front of you. But I know it's JRPG, so he has no idea what she just told us. You might have to take her to Bama, like Allah. This is a back door to one of those places we just were. One of these places we just were. Alright. Oh, I think this is like the mayor's house or something. Bait. Uni should be back any time now. Who's Uni? It's odd of her not to be home by now. Estelle, Josh, if you see my Uni, could you tell her to come home? She's never broken curfew before. Is it nighttime? I thought it was morning. I'm worried because she's still a little girl. Alright, let's see if we can find her. Excuse me, the back door's employee only. Youch. Yowzers. I certainly don't want to work there. Alright, I'm just gonna go in everyone's house. Hey, I'm in your house. It's almost time for my husband to come home from work. I guess the day has gone by, huh? I better get to work on preparing dinner. Yep. Okay. As long as as long as that's what you wanted to do in life, that's good for you. Okay. Hey, wow. Is this like another apartment? Hi, just dropping in. I love my daddy so much. He's so strong and he's always nice to me. I'd like to think this is how Millie thinks of me. Like, if you could interview Millie and ask her what she thinks of me, she would say, I love my daddy so much. He's so strong and he's always nice to me. She's a good puppy. Okay. I've already started dinner for the night. I'm making plenty, so hopefully my husband will be coming home today. I feel like they're setting up a tragedy right now. Staying overnight in the mine and working through the night is pretty common for him. She thinks you're just someone who cleans the poop pads. My wife and I do refer to ourselves as poo bandits, because every time she poos, we take it away from her. She probably just wishes you gave her more Taco Bell. since she's had such a delicate puppy constitution, there hasn't been a lot of sharing our food with her. We give her lots of treats, but they're like puppy sanctioned treats. But there will come a time when I would not like feed her a bunch of shit all the time, but I like sharing the food that I'm eating with a pet. Like, I feel bad when I'm eating something and she totally wants some of it, and I'm like, no, you can't have this. Like, here, have this dry piece of kibble that you're supposed to get excited about. Does my dog want to live mas? Is that a Taco Bell thing? Alright. Alright, so yeah. I think I'm about to investigate the entire flipping town. Go into everyone's houses. Everyone shall know. It's a small town. They all know. My son Pat has been gone since this morning. I hope he's not getting into any trouble with Luke. Oh, Pat and Luke in their secret hideout. Okay. I'm worried about what he's up to. Yeah, that Luke seems like a real character. Hi. Thanks to the airliners in recent days, even Roland has been able to get a good selection of books. And thanks to that, I find myself compelled to buy a new one each time I head to the store. But I get yelled at by my wife for getting so many, so maybe I should cut back a bit. I've only got the first chapter of this novel, so if you want, I'll give it to you. Alright. Carnelia Chapter 1. Oh, I guess I can. I don't want to read this shit. That's a lot to read. I'm not going to read all of that. Let's see. What is in my Bracer notebook? Oh, all this shit. Alright. Alright, we're going to carry on. Thanks for letting me walk into your house, everyone. I appreciate it. Hey there, old lady. I am in your house now. Oh, what's this book? I just walk in her house and start going through her things. Yeah, it's the Braces. I'm from the Braces kid. Ah, this is an awfully nice book here you got, Mrs. G. I certainly hope nothing happens to it. It'd be an awful shame if you didn't pay up your protection money, if you know what I'm saying. There's a notebook sitting on top of the desk. Read it! I'm a bracer. I live in a small... 6 pages? Are you serious? Alright, I'm just gonna... Alright, I'm not gonna read all this. That's too much. Just when I thought Luke had come home, he took off out that door again. Oh, is that Luke's journal? Okay, now I do want to read it. I told the boy that dinner was almost ready too. That boy was always running around with his pants on, like his pants are on fire. He just can't sit still for 2 minutes. Okay, now that I think this is like Luke's journal, now I want to read it. I'm a bracer. I live in a small rural town, and maintaining peace in the region is what my job is all about. Today, we received some job requests from a few clients, so I set off for where duty called. My first job was to milk some cows on the farm nearby. The next was to help turn over some fields. Who was anyone kidding? That kind of job was a cinch when it came to my skill with a pitchfork. For my last job of the day, I was to babysit. At first, I thought watching a bunch of kids would be easy, but it turned out I was wrong, dead wrong. To my dismay, there were 7 whiny kids in the house. Even for a professional like myself, 7 kids are a bit much. But I'm a bracer. I will do my duty. Maybe this is a real dude. I don't know if it's a kid. I'm reading it like it's a kid. I got to work and cradled the ones who wouldn't stop crying, changed their messy diapers, broke up fights over toys, and even managed to do a ton of small jobs around my client's house, like washing the laundry, cleaning up, and taking their dog for a walk. Even when I got hungry and felt like I had no more energy to go on, I didn't forget my duty to report to the guild. If I gave up, what a loser I'd be in front of everyone. After going through all of this and arriving at the guild, the other bracers in the office stared at me in amazement. That's right, you guessed it. I'm famous for being a bracer in this town. Other bracers paying attention to me like this is what I have to deal with every day. They're probably just jealous of my superior skills. Anyway, where were we? Oh, okay, I remember now. So I was on my way to report to the receptionist when suddenly someone grabbed me by the collar from behind. Turning around, I realized that it was someone more scary than any monster alive. It was my dad. After thwacking me good one on the head, he yelled so loud that everyone could hear. So you think you could just run off and play bracer every day without ever bothering to help your mother around the house, huh? After that, my dad dragged me all the way home and then lectured me until who knows when. I didn't do anything wrong either. Seriously, what the heck? I'm a self-appointed bracer. Today, I'm off again to maintain peace in the region and solve whatever problems need solving at the request of my clients. I think that was Luke's journal. Poor kid. Sounds like he's got a rough domestic, like a home family life. Now we know a little bit more about Luke. And he accused us of being a poser. Still a pitiful punk. Yeah. One screwed up little kid. Let's head home. We should let Dad know we qualified as junior bracers. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, it's letting me run all over the place and talk to everybody else. Can I go to the airport, at least? The landing port. What does the sign say? Roland Landing Port. Grantsville City. Alright. Can I buy a ticket to the other town? Luscious chocolate skin, captivating ruby eyes. Oh. This person's pining about Cher's is quite the exotic beauty, wouldn't you say? She's got that fascinating charm that people in Liberal don't have. Alan's off in his little world again. Ha ha. I've actually gone drinking with Sherazard before, but the strange thing is, I have absolutely no memory of that time. Haha, maybe I should try to ask her out again. Alright. Poor Alan, yeah. Alan, you fool. Hey, I'm proud of the work I do here. That's because I've always wanted to work in orbital engines ever since I can remember. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. I'm just gonna look and inspect all your stuff and see if there's any secrets. You got any treasure boxes around here? I can't go in here, apparently. Looks like only employees are allowed in. Is that back door, Brad? When I'm told I can't go in, I want to go in even more. Yeah, see? She wants some backdoor action. Real bad. It's the forbidden fruit. Okay. This is an entrance to the traffic control tower. Looks like this is where they control the lighting devices and the boarding bridge. Gila looting. Hey, buddy. His name is Skip. There are two airliners which travel to the 5 major cities, an eastward circling one and a westward circling one. The westward circling airliner travels from Grantsville to Roland, Boise, Rouen, and Zeiss, in that order. The eastward circling travels in the opposite direction, from Grantsville to Zeiss to Rouen to Boise, I'm tired, and Roland, in that order. If they let you use the back door, you probably won't even want to all that much. Yeah, it's only if you're told you're not supposed to use it. Just make it a little taboo to spice it up a little bit. Then everyone wants to get some of that backdoor action. Okay. I think I'm gonna get back towards our house, and then I'm probably gonna save. It's like 12:30. I get up early these days. For the Mildred. Oh, Anna says, Estelle, Joshua, I'm glad I found you two. Oh, hi, Anna. Is something wrong? You seem to be in quite a hurry. We've got a bit of a problem. Is your father at home today? Yes, he is. He said something about having to sort out a bunch of documents. But what's going on? You know Luke and Pat, right? Yeah, I do. I know all about him. Luke the Puke, that's what we call him. Sure we do. In fact, we saw them not that long ago. What's wrong? Are they in some sort of trouble? I don't know how to say this, but I just heard from Uni that Luke and Pat ran off to the tower that lies in the northern outskirts of Roland. You mean the Tower of Esmelis? Isn't that place supposed to be a breeding ground for monsters? Is that his secret base? That's what they say. Unfortunately, at the moment, Sherazard is out on other Bracer business, so I want to ask your father to bring the boys home safely. What are you talking about? There's no time for that. Joshua and I will go after them and bring them back. I don't know if that's such a good idea. The two of you only just qualified to be junior Bracers today. With all due respect, I believe that Estelle's judgment is correct in this situation. If the two of us hurry, we may even be able to catch up with the boys before they reach the tower. I understand. I will take responsibility for whatever happens. As an emergency request from the Bracers Guild, I ask that you lose no time in bringing about the safe return of these children. Roger that. Understood. The Esmelis Tower can be reached by taking the western path at the junction along the Malga Trail. You can get onto the Malga Trail through Roland's northwest gate. I'll be on standby at the guild, so if you run into any trouble, you know where to find me. Breeding ground for monsters sounds sexy. Yeah, better go to the tower. It does seem urgent. It's our first real job. Come on, Joshua. We don't have any time to lose. I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you, sis. All right. Here, there we can. Look how fast you can go when you hit all the buttons. Beep 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 beep. There, this is the one. Malga Trail. This is the top left road. The one that I almost walked through before. Alright, I'm gonna save the game before I head out, because there could end up being a lengthy 20-minute of talkie-talkie as soon as I set my foot out of the gates. Whole sort of tutorial about how to move outside of the gates. Let's save. Let me get the primary save. And exit. Exit game. And there we are. Well, thank you all for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, here Thursday night stream with the Gaming Lawyer. I hope you all had a lovely time tonight watching me play the whatever that game was. What was it called again? It's got the whole long title. Watching me play The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. Yeah, I don't think I've got a court case in me tonight. I'm a little bit tired, and I'm a little bit hungry, and my wife is trying to sleep out there, and I'm gonna have to get food anyways, because she's babysitting the dog because it's stream night. That's one thing that she does for me. No problem. Tired, hungry. I appreciate your understanding. Wow, great stream, but now it's all falling apart. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm sorry you feel that way, especially since you just got back from that meeting like 5 seconds ago, and I'm already ending the stream. I feel like you got this was a good. I feel like this was a good Brad stream though. You know, I played a game that you like. I played the game that you specifically voted for. You know. I hope you're happy with how that turns out. Yeah, getting enough rest makes me happy. Going into a Friday with enough rest, that makes me happy. I like sleeping enough. I didn't sleep enough last night. There are a lot of nights like I haven't been sleeping enough because my whole routine's different with the puppy. But I always had a problem staying up too late. It's just now, before, staying up too late meant I was up till like 3 a.m. Now it's like if I'm up till 11, then I'll wake up at like 5 or something stupid and I won't go back to sleep. Same shit. I am reading my comments just as well as... No, you know what? I think I'm doing better now because, well, there's that one stretch in the middle where you said a bunch of stuff and I got lost. But I think I've been keeping up right now, haven't I? Great stream, but now it's falling apart. Oh, in the next week, I'll gather my evidence with no structure. Oh, no! I hope you're happy with how that turns out. Now I got the whole thing. You're reading comments just as well as you did at the start of the stream. Nope, exactly the same. I missed that part. I do have evidence a structured approach right over there, Brad. It's still right here, just a lean away. Although I do have a whole bunch of law books. Like I probably got like, I don't know, 15 of those big red ones scattered at various places around the house. It just so happens that those two I use for my arm and my mouse pad. Because, well, they're probably a little obsolete at this point. Because it was published 20 years ago. The principles will probably still be valid for the most part. But some of the what they consider the current case law examples, probably a little dated by now. It's your own fault for having multiple sentences, Brad. There, Nick nailed it. If you want me to follow what you're saying, don't type multiple sentences. What I will say that I give Brad credit for is by giving me multiple comments, that's probably better than having one comment with a bunch of lines in it. Because when there's like a single comment that's like a wall of text, I'm likely to only scan the first part of the sentence and then that's it. So I don't know what I'm worse with, multiple comments or single comments with lots of words in them. That's right, the second part made no sense without the first part, but then I went back and I read it. But I know I've got a history of doing this. I know this. I know I've got a history with these comments. So, all right, you guys. I'm gonna go. Try not to wake up my wife too hard. And the puppy. See if I can stealth some food out of the kitchen without causing a major disturbance. That's the plan right now. But I hope you all had a wonderful night, even though it was terribly disappointing for some people here. And good night, Alalee. Good night, Evie23. Good night, Brad. Good night, Nick. Good night, Matus. Did he say he was leaving? Good night, maybe Matus. Good night, Stone. Stone never said he was leaving, so he could still be here. I don't know. I doubt Keith is here, but Keith might be here. Maybe he's sleeping. Who else was here? I get a low enough turnout in my streams that it only takes me a minute to name everyone that's been here. Which, that's fine. Since, as Brad's pointed out, I can't even keep up with comments when there's only 5 concurrent viewers. So, be as loud as you want. Live Moss. Okay. Yeah. All right. Live Moss. Here we go. Go to sleep and good night. Your eyes are getting so heavy. Go to sleep now. Brad Pritchard, EV23, Nixie, Ali. Go to sleep. Matus, I'll be waiting for you in your dreams. And it's been a long time since Joss has been here. But if you're here, Joss, I hope you have a very good night. You always were my favorite. And if he's not here, don't tell him I said that.